Hi class. Today we discuss about the accepted sampling. Accepted sampling is an inspection process. I believe that you guys have heard before about 100% checking. 100% inspection is checking all the units in the lot. For the accepted sampling, that is, we only select few items from the lot to determine whether want to accept or reject the lot based on the inspection decisions. It is to ensure the quality characteristic. We normally check the dimension checking, material check, functional check of the lot. The consumer will sample the item from the lot, test them, and observe the number of rejected units. So, when we need to do the accepted sampling, normally we base on the process requirement from the raw material received at the incoming inspections. Raw material received from the vendor or from the supplier, we need to conduct the accepted sampling to ensure the quality is good enough when proceed to the manufacturing process. Second, in the work in progress, that means when you do the process, between the process, you have to do the inspection, checking based on the product produced. Lastly, outgoing inspection of the finishing goods before shipment. We need to ensure it's a good quality product shipped to the customer. Therefore, we require to check few items from the lot to ensure the quality is fulfill the customer requirement. Okay, why we need to apply the accepted sampling in the production product? Because accepted sampling is very useful when a large number of items must be processed in the short amount of time. Try to think about how long we need to consume for a large number of products. We need to check one by one in the 100% checking. That is very costly and time consuming. Second is a destructive testing is required. That means you need to spoil the product, spoil the item. It's impossible to do the 100% checking to spoil all the product. Therefore, accepted sampling is the suitable choice for you. The third one, cost of the 100% inspection is high. So the 100% checking is very costly because involved of the destroyed item and the labor. And many similar units to be inspected. So we'll get bored and fatigued. And normally that is done through the manual inspections. Last one is when performance of the producer quality. Producer quality history is not clear enough. That means you don't know your vendor quality levels, you don't know the history of the quality, you don't know the R-chart, C-chart, CPK, CP for your vendor. You require more information from your vendor, so that accepted sampling is not suitable. If your vendor have a good quality profile, then accepted sampling is suitable for you to conduct. Lastly is when the automatic inspection is not available, you have to done manual inspection as I mentioned before. Then the accepted sampling is suitable for you to implement in your industry. Okay, before we go to the planning and documentation for accepted sampling, what is the advantage and limitation for accepted sampling? There is advantage for accepted sampling. There is, as I mentioned before, this is very low cost as compared to 100% checking and less damage due to the handling problem or handling during the inspections, and fewer inspector because less item need to check, Then we upgrade the inspection level from the piece-to-piece to lot-to-lot decisions. And is applicable to the destructive testing. And lastly, reject on the entire lot rather than the return to the few defective unit, thereby provide strong motivation for the vendor to produce the good result. However, what is a disadvantage for the accepted sampling? They have the risk to include in the chance of the bad lot accepted by the consumer, or have the risk of the good lot rejected by the consumer. So they have the risk there. Sample taking provide lesser information than the 100% checking, because you only pick few samples from the lot, so you don't have the whole information about the lot. So if you require the full information about the lot, you better go for the 100% inspection level. Lastly is required planning and documentation. This is why in this lesson, in this module, you need to go to another lesson 2 and lesson 3 to learn about how to planning the accepted sampling and how to do the performance analysis for the accepted sampling. No insurance that quality is perfect. Okay. After you understand what is the accepted sampling, then what type of the accepted sampling available now? They have 4 types: single sampling, double sampling, multiple, and sequences. And this module will only focus single sampling plan, which is the fundamental method for the accepted sampling. Single sampling plan, that means you only pick one time. Double sampling plan, that means we'll pick 2 times. After single sampling plan, we have confusing whether we want to accept or reject. Better go for the double sampling plan. For single sampling plan and other planning type, we require a few important information. That is lot size, sample size, accepted and rejected number. What is lot size? Lot size is the quantity of the product. That means there is an actual value. For example, 5,000 units from a product. So you pick 125 units. That is sample size N, lower letter of the N. And accepted number is how many number you can accept for the non-conforming unit. And rejected number is what is the number you reject, what kind of the number you want to reject when you found a non-conforming unit from the sample size C and R. Okay, after understanding the type of the accepted sampling, some consideration need to consider before we apply the accepted sampling in the production line. That is, the lot must be homogeneous. That means the product must be produced from the same machine, same operator, input material, and so on, so that we can do the assumption or decision is good enough for the product and accurate. And larger lot are more preferable than the smaller lot, definitely, because accepted sampling is reduce the time and the cost and reduce the time from the 100% inspection. So larger lot are preferable. Then the lot should be friendly to a material handling system, because we need to pick up the sample from the lot, so it must be friendly to the material handling system. Okay, then somebody will ask about after accepted sampling, they have the non-conforming unit. What should we do for the non-accepted lot? The non-accepted lot should be solved at the next process. Rectifying. Rectification, that is a good process for the producer and the best solution usually lead to the improve the quality of the vendor and the producer. So rectification, that is a good process to implement on the rejected lot. So now you already know the fundamental and basic knowledge about accepted sampling. Next, we try to develop the OC curve, that means to measure the performance of your sampling plan through the OC curve. How you know your sampling plan is good enough for you and fulfill the requirement of your customer? Thus, we need to develop the OC curve. The OC curve will be learned in the next session. See you later.